The Scoop. This The Scoop. Hey, what's up? This is your girl, Ashley Marie, and you're tuned into The Scoop, your one stop for all things love, lifestyle, and relationships on MorrisMediaLive.com.
I said, welcome to the school. You know it's time to tune in. You gotta tell all your friends, girl, welcome to the school. You know it's time to tune in. You better tell all your friends, homie, welcome to the school. The time is now, tune in. You better buzz in your friends, y'all, welcome to the school. Gather around, tune in. Now let the show begin. Hey, look, it's time to tune in. If you not, then you faking it. The best topics, love, lifestyle, and relationships. The dopest host in the world, Ashley Marie, holding it down from 7:30 to the 9:00 p.m. You better tell a friend every Wednesday night, cause you know she going in. They breaking the hottest artist in the game right now. No competition, so she in her own lane right now. You need the latest and the greatest, somebody that's gonna debate it. Well, we got it on lock, I know they hate it. See, you can learn a lot if you choose to pay attention. We talk world news, sports, don't let me fail to mention how to get your money right, so you can live a lovely life. Call in and get you some advice. It's not a game no more, we taking over the airwaves. MorrisMediaLive.com to catch the replay. You know it's time to tune in. You gotta tell all your friends, girl, welcome to the school. You know it's time to tune in. You better tell all your friends, homie, welcome to the school. The time is now, tune in. You better buzz in your friends, y'all, welcome to the school. Gather around, tune in. Now let the show begin.
What's up, you guys? Welcome to The Scoop. Happy Wednesday. We are your one stop for all things love, lifestyle, and relationships. I am your host, Ashley Marie, and we have a wonderful show planned for you tonight. I am so excited to have a very special guest here in studio. We have actor, comedian, Naeem Lynn. What up, Naeem? Welcome to The Scoop.
What's going on?
Thanks for joining me.
I can't hear myself.
You can't? Turn the dial on the side.
I'm turning it.
Can you hear yourself now?
But I'm good.
All right. Welcome to The Scoop.
What's up? I'm happy to be here.
Oh, there we go.
Okay, I was turning the wrong one. There it is. Okay. That's better.
All right. Thanks for joining us.
My pleasure. Let's do it.
All right. So, you guys have seen Naeem everywhere. He is one of the Plastic Cup Boys.
Rapping hard, got the jacket and the hat on right now.
Yes. And you've seen him on LeBron James's Survivor's Remorse.
You want me to just give the credit?
Go ahead and give your credit.
I did. Had a recurring partner in Survivor's Remorse.
Yes.
Had a one episode of Shameless. I'm just getting into my acting groove right now. I've been doing stand up for 20 years now. Been on pretty much every show you can think of. Also have a Netflix special called Plastic Cup Boys.
Yes.
And currently on tour right now.
Awesome. I didn't realize you've been doing stand-up for so long.
Yeah, I'm 40. I started when I was 20 years old in college.
Wow. Yeah, I was going to ask you, how'd you get your start?
Yeah, I was just, they used to have these talent shows at my school. This guy used to put on these talent shows called Baptism by Fire.
Okay.
It was really a spoken word show, but I mean, I didn't know. I had never been to a comedy club. I really didn't know what to do. I just know I wanted to tell some jokes.
Right.
And I told him to let me know like a month before the next show, and I wanted to get on. He said, cool. So he told me like a month before. I prepared a routine, and I killed it. I did my first set was like 20 minutes, which is unheard of.
That's a long time.
Yeah.
You weren't nervous at all?
I was just nervous about memorizing all of the material because I had never done it before. I wasn't that nervous about performing. I was more nervous about memorizing my set.
Right. So this happened while you were in college. You were at Temple University.
Right.
In Philly. And that's how you met Kevin Hart, right?
Yeah. We kind of started around the same time.
Okay.
But I was in school, so for me it was like, something I would do every few months. So it was a minute before I really started getting into it. And
Dived into it.
Yeah, he kind of just hit the ground running.
Gotcha. Okay.
So I met him on the scene in Philly.
All right. That's cool. So I hear people, how was your transition? I was going to ask you, how's your transition from like Philly? Because you're from Jersey. Right. And then you went to school in Philly. How was your transition once you graduated from school and came to LA? People always complain about that transition from being an East Coaster to...
Well, first of all, I did not graduate.
Okay.
That's first and foremost.
All
but Well, I lived in Philly for 11 years, so it was a minute before I actually moved here. I moved here in 2008.
Oh, okay.
And I had already been frequenting here because Kevin was living out here since like 02, 03.
Okay.
So I would come out for like a week, maybe like 2-3 times a year.
All right.
And then in the end of 2006, I won this competition for NBC called Stand Up for Diversity.
Okay.
And I got a 1-year holding deal with NBC for 2007. So during that time period, the first couple months of 2007, Kevin was filming Fool's Gold in Australia. So I asked him if I could house sit for him. And so I stayed here for 2 months off that little bit of money that NBC gave me. And that's when I decided I wanted to move here. So I'd already been coming out. Then after being here for 2 months straight, I was like, all right, my plan is to move here next year. I just need these few things to happen, and then I'll make the move.
Oh, that's cool. So it wasn't a shock.
No, it wasn't a shock at all. I mean, I love LA. I appreciate the locals more than, the Hollywood people.
Yeah.
The locals are pretty cool. Everybody north of Wilshire ain't from here.
Exactly.
So you gotta sift through them, through the people. I'm a little standoffish at first and quiet because I don't let anybody just befriend me. So I kind of got to fill you out.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. What does a holding deal mean? What does that mean with NBC?
Well, before they used to do development deals. A development deal back in early 2000, you get 250, 275 grand.
Okay.
And then they stopped giving out that kind of money, and they gave me a holding deal, which basically means I'm under contract with them for a year. If I want to work with any other network, I'll have to get their permission first.
Okay.
They gave me $8,500.
Oh, okay.
Which was, it was a lot. It was a lot for me at that time.
Right. Right. Okay. So it basically, you're locked in. Can you do work with any other networks?
Yeah, they just got to get permission from them.
All right. All righty. So, you realized you wanted to do comedy in college. I read somewhere that you started off like wanting to do something else, like massage therapy or some kind of physical therapist.
Physical therapist, yeah.
Okay.
That's why I went to school. Well, you got to go to grad school for physical therapy. So undergrad, I was a kinesiology major.
Okay. All right. All right. So like we said earlier, you're one of the Plastic Cup Boys. How did the group get started? I feel like y'all are kind of like the R&B group of comedy.
We like the Hamiltones.
Okay.
You know what the Hamiltones are?
I don't, but I know it's an old school group.
No, it's not.
Oh, what is it?
Anthony Hamilton, his background singers call themselves the Hamiltones. And
oh, really?
They always doing little videos and stuff. And,
oh, cute.
And now they got their own song out. They're trying to do their own album. But Plastic Cup Boys, Kevin is even part of the Plastic Cup Boys.
Right.
It's basically just all of the fellas that go on tour with him. 4 of us perform. The other guys, they, kind of behind the scenes, do other stuff. And the name came about because one day we were at the club and we just brought the cups from the green room with us to the club. And then we just start doing it every time. Then one of the guys like, we the Plastic Cup Boys. And it just kind of stuck.
It stuck. Hilarious.
Even though we all old as hell now.
How old is everybody? You're 40.
I'm 40. Spank's 40. Joey's 50.
Really?
Yeah. Harry's 46. Wayne is 41 or 42. Kev is 38. He'll be 39 in July.
Okay.
Kev is the youngest.
Oh, he's the youngest out of everybody. But you guys are
with
all
the oldest face.
Hilarious. All right. So what's one of you guys have obviously toured together a lot. You did the Laugh at My Pain and Let Me Explain tours.
I've done all of them.
All of them. Okay. What's one of the craziest moments you've had while on tour? Either with a fan or just, interacting with one another? I'm sure there's a lot.
There was a fight at one of the shows a couple months ago.
Really?
Yeah, we were in Virginia. And on this tour, this is the first tour where we're performing in the round, meaning the stage is in the middle of the floor. Like if you do an arena, normally they cut off the back of the arena and then they'll put the stage. And then you can't sell all the tickets. But now we're performing in the middle of the arena, and then the seats all the way around us.
Okay.
So you can sell every ticket and every seat, and then floor seats too that they bring up to the stage. So it's kind of like a wrestling ring or a boxing ring.
Right.
So that's what it looks like now, and because we got this huge screen above us that illuminates the room.
Okay.
So you can see everybody's face, and a fight broke out, and because you could literally see the whole room. It was no way to just avoid it, to ignore it.
Who was on stage when the fight broke out? You were.
Yeah, I was on stage, and
Did you include it into your?
I mean, I had to address it because it had gotten rowdy and everybody could see it. So I just gave like a quick play-by-play on the fight. I'm like, I think a titty just popped out.
So it's two girls fighting?
It was girls, yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so that is a crazy moment.
Mm-hmm.
What's the largest crowd you guys have performed for? Because you guys I feel like you guys sell out a lot.
Yeah, we sell out pretty much everywhere. The biggest on the last tour we did Philadelphia, the Eagle Stadium, and that was about 55,000 people.
Wow.
And it was outdoor. And we also have performed at Essence Festival at the Superdome in New Orleans. And that was probably, a comparable number too.
So your first time encountering that kind of crowd, did you get nervous? Did you were you scared? Like, am I going to forget my jokes?
I was nervous both times. I was nervous at the Superdome because there wasn't any stand-up prior to me going on stage. And then right before I got on stage, our road manager got into an argument with somebody because they said they didn't know anything about Kevin having an opener with him. Because that wasn't the whole crew. It was just us two. Okay. And he really brought me to throw me to the wolves. So because, he probably was nervous too.
Yeah.
So, excuse me. Mm-hmm. Nephew Tommy was hosting and Lettucey.
Yes.
I think they performed right before me.
Okay.
And then Nephew Tommy gave away a car, and then he was like, "Y'all ready for some comedy?" I was like, "Oh shit, that's how you gonna bring me up?" And then he just brought me to the stage. I was drunk as hell because I was nervous. I was drinking a lot. Okay. And it took about 5 minutes for me to kind of sober up a little bit, but then after that, I started killing it. It was the bad thing about that, it was a little bit of a delay between the mic and the screen because it's so big in there. So they had to watch. They had these. You ever been to Essence Festival?
No, never.
They had these huge screens. I mean, it's 3 of them, and they are huge. I can show you a picture I got on my Facebook. But I was nervous, but then once I started rolling,
you were good.
I was good, and then when we did the Eagle Stadium, I was nervous because it was outdoor, and you just never know. When you're dealing with the outdoors, it's a distraction. You know what I'm saying? It's like, is the sound system going to be? It's different if it's a concert. Yeah. You're singing or something, but to do comedy outside. But we did a couple amphitheaters prior to that to get used to it. Mm-hmm. So it was good.
Have you ever forgotten your routine on stage?
Shit, I forget parts of my jokes all the time. Really? Not that much, but it happens. It happens. Like it's part of a joke that I'm doing on this tour right now, and I forgot. I think all weekend I forgot to do it. And then somebody commented on my IG yesterday and said something about that joke. I was like, oh, shit, I forgot about that part.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but it's all, if I forget something, it's always like maybe just a little part of a joke, something like that.
But not a big, okay. That's good. So you got to have a really good memory, too.
Well, I mean, not really. It's repetition. You performing over and over again, So.
Do you practice at home?
Nah. No, I haven't practiced in the mirror or anything since right before the first time I went on stage.
Oh, okay.
I never do that again. I think, you don't want to overthink. First of all, I live off of facial expressions. When I perform, that's a big part of my set. Mm-hmm. And you don't want to overthink it. You want it to be organic. Right. So I never practice.
That's very true. I love that. All right. If you guys are just tuning in, we are hanging out here in studio with actor and comedian Naeem Lynn. If you'd like to join in on the convo, feel free to give us a call at 323-293-3375. We're going to take a quick break and come right back with more from Mr. Naeem Lynn. We're going to get into our first break song of the night, which is Drake with Underground Kings.
Wood, leather with that wood grain, Persian rugs on wood floors.
Welcome back to the Scoop, you guys. That was Drake with Underground Kings. We are hanging out here in studio with actor and comedian Naeem Lynn. He's just dishing on his journey as a comedian. You have a really funny stand-up routine. It's a short clip that I want to show the audience. It's the cat clock joke.
Yeah, go ahead.
Did that really happen?
Yeah.
All right. You guys check this out.
I'm on YouTube the other day watching my own videos, because that's what I do. I watch my own shit. And I was enjoying it. I said, this motherfucker's funny. Then I start reading the comments. I'm reading the comments, and this dude was like, this motherfucker looked like a cat clock.
Okay, so my first time hearing that, I was like, what in the hell is a cat clock? And I had to think about it like, oh, a cat clock.
Yeah.
Who told you that? What's the story behind that?
Basically just how I said it. I had a YouTube clip of me on Bad Boys of Comedy from 2007. And and I had this joke where I kind of did something with my eyes similar to that, talking about how old people, when they get old as hell, they take 2 minutes to blink, and they close their eyes looking one way, and they open them up looking a whole different way.
Yeah.
And somebody wrote in the comments, said, "This nigga like a cat." and I just added
the clock.
The clock part, yeah.
That's actually hilarious.
Yeah.
So how do you come up with your jokes? Is it coming from life experiences or?
Yeah, man, you know, when you're a comedian, you have to keep your mind open at all times and be ready to receive material.
Right.
You know, jokes come out of nowhere. Some stuff, you know, are gifts. Things just happen, and you're like, I got to talk about that. Then some stuff you have to actually create. You know, talk about your family, your kids, and all that stuff. But there's really no process for me. I think of something, I put it in my notes on my phone.
Okay. And
then I go to like the Ha, which is right around the corner from my house. I go there and I just work, like throw a couple of jokes out there.
Yeah, to see how the crowd receives it. That's actually a really good practice. So what jokes or what kind of material is off limits for you? I know like recently Michael Blackston was like under some heat because he took it a little bit too far with making jokes on social media about Kevin Hart's situation and all of that. So people were kind of coming at him like, chill, like that's off limits. So is there anything for you as a comedian that's off limits that you just don't touch?
Well, what Mike Blackston did was corny as hell, because the same shit had just happened to him.
Right.
Like 2 months before that.
Right.
And you know, we all know Mike. Mike is a friend of mine, and we have a group chat, the fellas. So we all like, damn, that's fucked up, man. We all feeling bad for him. And then I even hit him like, yo, you good? You know, yeah, I'm straight. And then when something happened to somebody else, where the stakes are even higher because of the fame, the level of fame, and then also his wife is 7 months pregnant. You take this as an opportunity to kick a man when he's down.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's somebody that you know. And I talked to him about it. I said, yo, you whack for that. And then he was like, all right, I won't do it again. Then he went right back to doing it. So, you know, when Kev addressed it, called him a IG thought. I mean, it was pretty accurate in my opinion. But as far as things what I don't do anymore, sometimes I get funny memes and it might have somebody's face in it or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't post those no more because people will like hit me like, yeah, that's me. Such. Actually, somebody hit me today. It was, but this one, it wasn't that bad. It was a fat dude. He was hugging this girl, and it said something about being in the friend zone. And so then I just reposted it, and then the dude hit me today like, yeah, everybody that's me in the picture. Everybody want to make fun of that, but it's other pictures we hugging better. And I'm like, I ain't even respond to him. But as far as on stage, you know, I try to. You know, you can't really talk about gay people like that no more. You know, you gotta be careful with the LGBT. But my comedy's always been edgy. You know, if it's funny, I feel like if it's funny, then you know. Here's a problem with fans or people in the audience. Everything is funny until you say something that applies to them. Then they got a problem with it. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
You could be a transgender, and I'm sitting there talking about Mexicans and shit, and you laugh, and then I say something about transgenders. Then it's not a problem. It's a problem.
Yeah, that actually makes sense. All right, so hold on one second. I just want to let me just bring on my guest co-host, Miss Lady
everybody.
Marlo. Lady Marlo, welcome to the Scoop.
Sorry, everybody.
You're just sitting there.
I'm just living up the stereotype of people being late, right?
Welcome to the
People
Scoop, Marlo.
or black people?
Black people.
Well, I didn't want to say black people because it says colored people. So it's people of color.
Oh, color people time.
Okay.
Color people
So I
time.
was just saying.
Welcome to the Scoop, man.
Thank you, guys.
All right, so I wanted to ask you, Naeem, who's your favorite comedian? Who are you inspired by?
I'm my favorite comedian.
You are?
Absolutely.
That's my first time ever hearing somebody respond that way.
So you don't have anyone that you...
I have people that have inspired me and got me into comedy, but at this very moment, I am my favorite comedian.
You don't think anybody's funnier than you right now?
I didn't say that. I said I'm my favorite.
Okay. So do you think that there's anybody that's funnier than you?
I mean, the comedy fans may think so. Nobody really makes me laugh like that because I think so much outside of the box, and I've been around it so long that it's just not, it doesn't. It's hard to make me laugh at this point. But yeah, I mean, if I had to name somebody other than myself right now, I'll probably say Kevin, but it's not necessarily because I think he's that funny or funnier than me. It's just because of the work ethic and the energy and the ability to produce over and over again.
Yeah.
It's admirable.
Yeah, that is. I've heard that about his work ethic too. I've heard that he has impeccable work ethic.
Yeah, he just wants it all. He's like Jay-Z of comedy. You know what I'm saying?
He is. That's actually pretty accurate. I would say so. Alrighty. So I did hear a comedian say that they didn't think Dave Chappelle was funny. And everybody thinks Dave Chappelle is hilarious, or most people do. So do you share that sentiment, or is there anyone that you think is whack?
Oh, I would
comedy game?
I would never say that.
Okay.
I would never say that on air because that's the problem. If I said that, it would have to be somebody that's not black. I would never say another black comic is not funny because we always get on air or whatever and we hate on each other for
That's
no reason.
true.
You know what I'm saying? I would never. There's people that are overrated to me, but I mean it's not even. I can't even say they're overrated. They're just not my flavor.
Right. Right.
But I do think Dave Chappelle is funny though.
Yeah, I do too.
When's the last time you laughed to where you cried?
Oh, that's a good one.
It wasn't at a comedy show.
It wasn't?
Nah.
Was it something on the streets?
Shit. Oh. We did. We got a radio show on Sirius XM.
We're gonna talk about that.
Okay,
Yeah.
so the other day.
On Mondays at 7 p.m. Eastern time.
Yeah, and this Monday, it's so bad, but it's this dude that's about to get drafted in the NFL. He only got one hand. And,
Really?
That's not funny.
Yeah. Hey, you want me to tell you what?
Okay, go ahead.
What I cried laughing about?
He's
So,
trying to answer the question.
So one of the guys, we 5 deep on the show. No, it's 6 of us. And one of the guys was talking about how he ran a 4.3 in the 40 at the combine, and I was like, well, hands carry weight, so he's a little bit lighter.
Oh my God.
Naive.
And it just started from there, and everybody just like nobody wanted to say anything, and then I started it, and then it just got worse and worse. And,
Oh my God.
and then one of the fellas was like,
carry weight.
one of the fellas was like, yeah, and he had a twin brother. I was like, yeah, but they're not identical because.
Oh my!
I am gonna get you. You are so bad.
And I was crying.
Speaking of your inappropriate jokes, you do have a joke about somebody with no arms.
Yeah, I do.
All right, we're gonna play that.
Okay, I'm actually. Where do you have that footage from? Because it's never been filmed.
No, I have the footage.
No, someone filmed it.
Okay.
I have it.
All right. Let's see.
We're gonna pull it up.
Oh.
At the supermarket pushing around a cart full of healthy shit, just a tree in that bitch, picking up stuff near you that he would never buy just to complain about the calories, that kind of shit. I mean, why would you ever? This is fucking ridiculous. He's on the cell phone, dude. It's like, it's shit. And I got 6 in my cart, you know? I was on the plane, and this guy started walking down the aisle, and he ain't had no arms. And, I know most of y'all think there's nothing funny about not having arms, and you wrong. Because that shit is hilarious, right? So the motherfucker was walking down the aisle, and the first thing I was thinking is like, oh shit, this motherfucker ain't got no arms. I hope he's sitting next to me because I'm in the middle seat and I want the armrest. Yeah.
I'll never forget my first experience with an older chick. It fucked me up because I wasn't ready for those sounds. I get into a nice.
I cannot believe you, Naeem.
Well, that joke is so much funnier now. I actually, I was doing it before a couple tours ago, and then I changed it. I brought it back, and it's a little bit different now. I mean, that part is kind of still the same, but it's so much more to it now. I talk about having a fake arm and everything, and it's a lot of you have to see it. I can't really do it right now, but it's funny as shit.
All right.
That's a great joke.
Yeah.
That joke, and let me tell you something, that joke was real. That joke was real.
That really happened on the plane?
Well, I know this girl who's a flight attendant, and she told me this story of how some guy was on the plane. He had a monkey with him, and he didn't have any arms, and the monkey was feeding him and shit. And
oh, so it was like a service animal.
Yeah, but the monkey was feeding him, and he wasn't giving him a chance to swallow the food, so he just kept going. He was smashing the food in the dude's face.
Oh my gosh!
And and the dude was like, And they took the monkey and they threw him in the bathroom and locked the door and shit.
Oh God!
Is this real?
I swear to God, she told me this shit. I was crying.
Oh my!
She told me this stuff. I was crying, so I was like, I got to take that to stage. And
so that's a portion of it.
Yeah, that was a really long time ago. When I was doing it like that, I talked about the monkey. Now I don't do the monkey part of it, and I added something else, like talking about having a fake arm and getting pulled over by the police. Like, yo, you don't want to be the black man with the fake arm,
right?
Shit like this. The cop think it's a weapon, yada yada yada, and it's funny. Yeah, you got to see it in person. It's a funny act out.
All right.
But that was a true story.
Dang. Okay. So I wanted to ask you about your thoughts on the Monique Netflix boycott situation. Do you think that there is a racial or gender disparity in as far as earnings in Hollywood or in the comedy world at least?
Well, I mean, you can't say that about Netflix. They gave Chris Rock, Dave Chappelle, and Kevin Hart all $60 million. But
what about the gender?
Well, the gender, what's her name? Amy Schumer. Amy Schumer got $13 million, and she got that amount because she bitched real hard about it, on some gender shit. And this was the right time to do that, because everybody's complaining about women not getting equal pay and equal opportunities, which I dislike, and I support that. But Netflix's comedy specials are not about talent. It's about about popularity.
Okay.
And
so it's kind of like she hasn't done anything lately.
Monique. Yeah. So
ask for that kind of money.
First of all, Amy bitched about it, and when I say bitch, I would say a man bitch too. Don't
flip it.
Don't take that personally. She complained about it, and then she didn't deliver. Her special was really, really bad. It got really bad ratings. They got a 1 star. The ratings were so bad on it, I heard that they had to change the rating system on Netflix and just start putting a percentage or something.
Wow.
Yeah, it wasn't funny.
Yeah, so she did that. If you go hard like that, you got to deliver something, because now it's like, yo, you fucking it up for everybody else. But Monique, she talks about having all these awards and everything, and none of them are relevant to stand-up comedy. I think if Monique was smart, what she should have did was say, listen, I have an Oscar, I'm a great actress, I had a successful TV show. Why don't y'all give me some money to do my own TV show?
That would have worked.
Yeah, because people are getting big money on Netflix to do shows. She could have got have did her own show, and then let that spin off into a comedy special where she could have got a lot of money. To be honest with you, I think $500,000 was very generous for her. I mean, they offered Wanda Sykes I won't say it's generous, but I believe that Wanda Sykes is more relevant in comedy than Monique, and she probably should have deserved more. I mean, granted, Monique headlined the Queens of Comedy, but that was years and years ago.
Right.
Monique tried to do a comedy tour, a theater comedy tour, in which she had to cancel because she wasn't selling tickets.
Wow.
You know, now I respect Monique. I think she's an amazing actress, and I think she's a great comedian. But you're not popular right now.
Right.
You know what I mean? So without popularity, then you have no grounds to stand on.
And so some people were saying that that maybe she should, instead of trying to get everyone to boycott Netflix, then maybe she should just do her own thing right now. Build her relevance up to the popular, become more popular right now. Then come back to Netflix and demand more money.
And that's what you guys do that a lot. You guys create your own content a lot as far as like the Plastic Cup
well,
boys.
Monique, I think that she could have negotiated her price up to probably like maybe 1.5.
No, she said that they asked her.
No, what
and
happened?
She was like, they're not open to no negotiation.
No, what happened was they said that they were too far apart because she wanted something comparable to what Amy Schumer got.
Oh.
And they were willing to come up, off of an argument of, you being this, that, and the other. They were willing to come up a little bit, but she wanted to be over 10 million. So if you offer you 500, if we offer you 500,000, and then we're willing to negotiate up to 1.5, and you somewhere over 10.
Oh yeah.
Well, there's no conversation.
Yeah.
Right.
So I mean, Tiffany Haddish is getting I think 2 million maybe for hers.
For Netflix.
Yeah. It's because she's
popping right now. Yeah.
It's simple as that.
Yeah.
And Monique, part of her argument was, well, if I let them do this to me, well, then what they gonna do to Tiffany Haddish?
Tiffany gonna get her coins.
Tiffany's getting more money than you.
Yeah.
It's a sad thing. The problem with people boycotting stuff or trying to get somebody to get on their team is nobody cares about shit until it applies to you. Until ain't nobody walking around here with a breast cancer ribbon tattoo. If ain't nobody in your family died from cancer, nobody care about shit until it happens to them.
Till it hits close to home.
Yeah.
But it kind of worked for like the Oscar boycott, right? That worked.
Well, the Oscar boycott. I mean, I don't think that many people really boycotted. It was more of the complaining.
The complaint, yeah.
It was the complaining about it, and then we got a lot of awards the following year. And sometimes shit like that is bittersweet because it's like, all right, now you're just trying to appease us. You're giving us shit, but it's like, all right, you have to still celebrate the victory though. You're like, all right, we're getting somewhere. But then you get these people win, and then you like, damn, Denzel ain't win. Who really should have won?
Right.
Well, they usually give you your Oscars a year later.
Well,
they usually give them, like, if they know you're supposed to win for this, then they'll give it to you for this.
Well, Denzel's nominated every year. He only got one.
That is true.
Yeah, I mean, he should have got it for Malcolm X. He should have got it for Hurricane. They gave it to him for Training Day, he wasn't deserving of it that year, in my opinion. I mean, he's a good actor.
For Training Day?
Yeah, I mean, that wasn't his best performance. It's just because he was a bad guy.
Right.
He was crooked, so,
No, it's because they owed him, and they know they owed him, so and that was a nominated movie, so they were like, we'll give it to him this time.
He was incredible in Hurricane, and Malcolm X, that was brilliant.
He was great in Glory.
Yeah, but did he got nominated for supporting in that? Yeah. I mean, Denzel is the shit,
And he says now he's passing it on to Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah, he's passing the torch down.
Yeah, I mean, that's dope for him to say that. It's kind of, it's empowering him and kind of putting eyes on him like, yo, this is the next guy.
Yeah.
Shout out to Michael B. Jordan. He's from Jersey. Oh,
is he?
Yeah, he's from my area, and he actually was in the same high school fraternity that I was in.
Really?
Yeah.
You guys have high school friends?
Did you guys know each other?
Nah, he's way younger than me.
He's younger.
We have this. It's this national youth group called the Kudos and Zenos, and their youth groups for this black teacher sorority called Phi Delta Kappa.
Okay.
And Yeah, so they have youth groups called Kudos and Zenos that are all around the country, and every year we have a conference, regional conference and all that. So yeah,
Is it all male or is it
no,
male and female?
Kudos are the guys, the Zenos are the girls.
Okay.
That's kind of awesome.
And then the black educators are your mentors.
Right.
Gotcha.
They are counselors,
Yeah. I like that. All right. So what do you prefer? Do you prefer stand-up, films, TV shows? Like, what's your best or what's your favorite way to deliver your comedy?
Well, I don't have much acting experience so far, so it's definitely stand-up. Stand-up for me, like people that act, they think stand-up is hard. People that do stand-up think acting is hard because actors have to translate what someone else wrote. You know what I'm saying? You have to translate the feeling that they have behind it. And sometimes that can be difficult.
Yeah.
You translate it the way you think it's supposed to go. With comedy, you wrote it. You know how you want to say it.
Right.
So, but acting I like acting. The thing that I don't like about acting is the hours. You might have a call time of 6:30, then you might not start shooting till 1 o'clock. You might not start shooting till after lunch.
They call it the hurry up and wait.
Right, right. And then you the smaller your part is, the more annoying it is being on set because you're just waiting around. If you got like a big part, you start a show, then it's not so bad because you moving and you keep going. And then you do the scenes over and over again. At first, I didn't like that, but when you get to that point to where you want to outdo, once you see yourself on camera and you're like, I could have did this better. I wish I'd have done that differently. Then you go back to the next time you film something, you looking at it like that, like, all right, let me keep doing this so I think I got it perfectly.
Right. Have you ever been in a situation where you actually turned down a check or an opportunity that was low paying? Mm-hmm. You have?
Yeah, I got offered a part on Get Shorty. What? I don't know. One of them shows, one of those movies became a TV show. It's either
Get Shorty was one.
Is Get Shorty or Going to 60 Seconds? I think it's Get Shorty.
Get Shorty.
This was last year, and they offered me a part to play a thug. I had like 2-3 lines. It was $1,000, and I said no because it wasn't a recurring role, and I didn't want to play a thug again.
I was gonna say, yeah, that probably has a lot to do with it.
Yeah,
maybe if it was another role, you would consider it, possibly.
Maybe, but it was. I mean, whatever I do, I like to know that it's going to be a solid scene, something that's going to make me stand out, or there's going to be a recurring opportunity.
Gotcha. All right.
You mentioned earlier that, and the difference between stand-up comedy and acting is that you have to, translate someone else's words. I know that a lot of, comedians have other writers, as like Richard Pryor did with Paul Mooney and so on and so forth. Have you gotten to the place to where you accept other comedians writing for you?
Nah.
Are you writing for other comedians?
At one time, I was I toured with Cedric the Entertainer when I first moved out here for like 6 months, and he brought me on to write for him to really try to help punch up the jokes he had, and that was working. But then when I tried to present to him original material, he wasn't really feeling it, so that didn't last. My big thing with Cedric, Cedric is he's Cedric the Entertainer. He's gonna have a little music, a little dancing,
right.
A lot of observational comedy. And I was trying to get him to make his comedy a little bit more personal and start talking about his family and his kids.
Yeah.
And he wasn't ready for it. He said he wanted to, but he wasn't really ready for that. And
why do you think that people are, or him in particular, why he
when you do
open to it?
When you've been doing something for so long, and then trying to implement something new, sometimes people are a little bit nervous about it. When you killing like that, and every show that you're doing is a paid show, it ain't like you working out. Sometimes you don't want to take that step back to make one step back to make 2 steps forward. And I don't know if that's what it was with him, but he just didn't do it. And then he let me go, and that was it. But I've never had anybody write for me. A lot of comedians that have writers, it's not what people think. Like Kevin is often criticized because it's known that he has writers.
Right.
But he has 2 guys. One of them is actually the host of our show. Another guy is a former comedian. and it's not what you think. It's really Kevin. Kevin can really freestyle. He can get on stage and just talk about shit and make it funny. He's that comfortable on stage. So when he starts preparing a new set, he goes on stage, he has some ideas, he throws it out there, and then the two guys, they sit in the back of the room and they write down the stuff or they record it, and they think of tags. Tag is like a punch up to a joke to go with it. But it's really all his brainchild. So, it's not like other comedians be hating on him because he continues to produce material over and over again. And like, yeah, he got 5 guys in the back of the room with laptops, and, Ari Spears says some hate and shit like that. And it's just not like that.
Okay. That makes sense. Because they're kind of like fine-tuning all of his ideas. It's like a brainstorming session.
Right. It's, they have powwows about it.
And I feel like once you reach a certain level, just to keep your creativity flowing, you need a team of other creatives around you. Beyonce does it. She doesn't write all her music. Jay-Z, well, I'm not sure if he writes his music, but
Jay-Z,
I'm sure he writes his music.
He does.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, but when you're at a certain level and you have to keep producing, you do. I feel like need.
Yeah, when you're in demand, you might need a writer. For me, I don't know if I would ever want one. First of all, I don't even like performing for that long. For me, like a 45-minute set is cool.
That's a long time.
Nah, Kevin does a hour and 10 when we on tour every night.
Oh, okay.
And you got and then people still complain. I thought the show was gonna be longer.
That's a long
you got some people
That's a long time.
Dave Chappelle can do 2 hours if he wants. Sometimes he just get up there and he starts smoking a cigarette and shit. The reason why he smokes cigarette while he's on stage because it takes him like 5 minutes to smoke a cigarette, so it kind of helps him keep up with his time.
Oh, I was wondering why
Look
he
at
did
you
that.
with the insight.
Yeah. I mean, he said that before though. Ain't like I just figured it out.
Oh.
He actually said that. But yeah, I don't like being on stage that long. It takes a different level of energy to keep the audience in the palm of your hands for so long. Now, it might be a time once I become more popular and more in demand and I'll be comfortable with it. Dave Chappelle is a low energy comic, but he's a good storyteller and people really, really love him.
Yeah.
So they sit there and they listen.
Right.
Kevin is a high energy comic, and for me to be able to do an hour, I have to be at a certain level of my career, and I have to be at a big show where these are all my fans.
Gotcha.
How would you describe your comedy? You said that, Dave Chappelle's a low energy, Kevin Hart's high energy. How would you describe yours?
As you saw in that clip, I'm low energy at comedy clubs. I'm lower energy. When we do arenas and stuff like that, I try to deliver a bigger performance because there's so many people there. So it really depends on where I'm performing. But I'm still kind of laid back though. Laid back, but I figured out things to seem like I have more energy than I do, as far as like kind of changing the tone of my voice, going up and down, having levels and stuff like that, hitting certain things. It's just things that you pick up on after doing it for so long.
Over time, yeah.
Watching you do your comedy, it just seems like you are the homeboy that I'm chilling with, and we're having these conversations. So it's very conversational.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, that's how you want it to be. You don't want you want it to not seem so rehearsed.
Yeah.
So I one thing about myself, I don't think there's any other comics that are like me. I don't have a style that's compared to anyone. Nobody's ever like, yo, you kind of remind me. Nobody ever says that to me.
Yeah.
I think I'm kind of like in my own lane.
I would say that. I've heard some, I'm going to ask you this and then we're going to take a quick break. I heard some like OG comedians kind of put down the newer school comedians that have made or paved their way through
You mean
IG,
the IG comedians? Yeah.
and YouTube. What are your thoughts on that? Do you feel like they're not real comedians? Because a lot of times they don't do stand-up often. Their platform is really just social media
Skits.
I would say
Exactly.
that it's an actual skill to be able to do a funny video in a minute, because a lot of comedians that are polished comedians are trying to do that now because you got to change with the times,
Right.
and they're not good at it. So you have to give them credit and say what they do is actually a skill. But you know, they're not really that. A lot of them aren't that good on stage, but you have some that actually respect it and they want to get better, and they are getting better. At one point when it first started happening, I felt a little negative towards them because it's like, damn, we've been working hard doing all this, and then now they kind of just come and doing these videos that are not funny, and then they're getting this work. But the thing is, they have to deliver. They get booked somewhere, you gotta deliver, and if you can't, then
You're not gonna get booked again.
But you know, I'm not a hater. I'm one of those people that, I mean, hate or jealousy is a natural reaction, and what you have to do is kind of address it within yourself, and then you can move past it. You know, you can't help how you react to anything, or you can only determine what you say about it, what you do moving forward. You know, I mean, when I say reaction, I mean your inside reaction.
Right.
What you say on the outside is up to you.
Right.
So I had some negative things to say about it at first, but it was also like, if people like it, then whatever. But now I don't have anything negative at all to say about it. Like, yo, they found something out. They figured out a way to get money.
Right.
And we got to do the same.
Right.
It's just like musicians, R&B singers from the 90s and 2000s. I'm like, oh, this ain't R&B. This ain't real R&B.
Yeah,
what
yeah.
I did was real R&B.
Yeah.
This ain't real hip hop. Back in the day was real hip hop. It's all bullshit. You got to change with the times.
That is true. All right. Well, we are going to take a quick break. We have Cardi B with Be Careful. Speaking of Cardi B, she killed it at Coachella this weekend. So shout out to
Twerking
her.
with the belly.
Twerking with the belly. That girl is wild. Welcome back to The Scoop, you guys. That was Cardi B with Be Careful. We are hanging out here in studio with, I just want to introduce you guys to our guest co-host for this week, Miss Marlo J.
Hola, everybody.
Welcome to The Scoop. And we are getting all into Mr. Naeem Lynn's business. He's an actor and a comedian. You guys have seen him everywhere. He's one of the Plastic Cup Boys with Kevin Hart. And thank you so much for joining us tonight, Naeem.
My pleasure, man. You
have
got
been
good questions.
wonderful. Thank you.
Good
Appreciate
question. I
it.
hate doing interviews where it's the same old shit over and over.
Over and over. I know. I always feel so bad for you guys, too, because,
Yeah.
like, when I'm even looking at the interviews, like, online, I'm like, dang, everybody asked the
Absolutely.
same
And you're
question.
like, so you didn't see he answered that already?
Yeah, don't. The only bad question you asked was what made me get into it. How did I start? We get tired of asking.
Well, I kind of have to ask that.
You don't.
I do, though.
Why?
Because everyone doesn't know that.
But
I feel like that's just an opener. You're just going to have to let that one slide.
yeah, but if anybody's like interested in me,
They can look it up somewhere
at
else.
other
That's
interviews,
true.
and it's going to be the same question.
That's a good point.
So, sometimes like when we have our podcast, we ask about personal stuff. I ask people when they lost their virginity, shit like that. Shit that nobody's asking in the interview.
When did you lose your virginity, Naeem?
It was
Since you brought it up.
1994. I was 16 years old.
To who? What's her name?
Her name was Nikki, and
Darling Nikki.
Nikki from Jersey.
yeah, and I pretty much have somehow connected or seen everybody I went to school with growing up on Facebook, or at least. And she's somebody that I have not seen. I haven't seen her since high school. I haven't seen her on Facebook, nothing.
I was just about to ask, does she look the same?
I have no idea, and I don't know if she knows that she was my first.
You didn't tell her?
No.
How was the experience?
What do you
It
mean
was a disaster. What do you mean?
Did you? How long did you
no? It
last?
was a disaster.
You mean, I came on myself first.
You yourself first?
Came on myself first, and then and I just played it off. I was like, man, I don't know what's wrong with me. I didn't know she didn't know. And then
Were you able to,
I got it
Recover?
back.
could you get it back up?
Yeah, first of all, I'm not okay. I had an opportunity to lose my virginity when I was 13.
Oh, God. Thank God you didn't do that.
And every I wish I would have, actually.
Why?
Because at 13 I probably didn't have any sperm yet to be coming on myself, and then I wouldn't have had anxiety every time after for the next 10 years after that first time when I came on myself.
Oh, you were traumatized.
I was traumatized.
Aw. Come here, Tink Tink.
I was traumatized. I was traumatized. So till this day I don't masturbate. Right?
What?
You have to save it.
I don't touch myself.
No, why you have to say that? No.
I need a stranger. I need a stranger and I need feedback. I can't touch myself. It's not doing nothing for me.
Are you serious?
I'm dead serious. So
how do you? Okay, I don't know if this is going to go really crazy or not. But
Go for it, Marlo.
So how do you know how to tell a girl to give you head? Because that's the parameter.
Well, first of all, I don't like giving instructions during sex. Either you know what you're doing or you don't.
Oh, wow. Because everybody's not the same.
I know this.
Okay.
I know this. And 99% of women don't give good head. Head is not even really a big deal for me. I'm a pleaser. You know what I'm saying? Like I like to please. If you only way I want the head is if you want to do it. Like it turns you on. You know what I'm saying? So I'm good on that.
So it's not
this
a big
is me
deal.
We talking about, not you.
It's not a big. Marlo's like, well, I prefer.
Because I don't think that I can't say to any woman, but I think that the majority of women that give head, they do it because they think that you enjoy it. They're doing it to please you, not because, oh my God, you know what I want to do? You know what I feel like right now? No.
Have you ever gotten
some
good
women
head?
that yeah, for sure.
Okay.
There's some women that love to suck a dick. It turns them on. Some women
I
can have
believe that there are
orgasms
some.
from giving head.
What? I believe that there are some. I have one homegirl back in New York that she can.
Yeah.
But the majority.
I agree, and that's what makes it bad because you're doing it as a favor. Nobody want no favor head.
It's not favor. It's just because. Okay, go ahead.
It feels different. If it's favor head.
If you want to please someone, then you should enjoy doing what you're doing.
No, you are.
You gotta be passionate.
But it's not like you just at home fiending to give somebody head.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, I don't want it if I gotta ask for it, or if it's a holiday.
That's good because you're not a raper. That means you're not a raper.
I'm definitely not a
rapist.
I don't want it if you don't want it.
Yeah, and then
that's good.
And then, like I said, most women can't do it anyway, and it's just like I'm good.
Are you like more careful with the way you move now, as far as just dealing with women that you may work with, especially with like the Me Too movement that's going on? Are you like a little bit more cautious? Does it make you anxious?
Yeah, I mean, you can't say flirtatious shit all the time. You know, I posted something on IG a while back, and I said it's only harassment when you don't like the person. You know,
that's true.
If you like a guy, if you like a guy and you into him, then he can almost say anything to you.
But no. But you know what? There's been, like with the Russell Simmons situation, one of his accusers, he actually was in they were dating. And
let's not confuse what you say and what you do. Assault is one thing. It don't matter if you with somebody, you could be married to somebody. If your woman say no,
right,
then you can't do it.
Exactly.
So, but no, if you could say if a girl likes you, you could say flirtatious shit to her.
Yeah.
And if she likes you and doesn't like it, then she'll be like, yo, I ain't feeling that.
Right.
But if she don't like you at all, then she going straight to HR. And also, it's really only harassment on the workplace. You know what
I was about to say.
Yeah.
I was about to say that's in the workplace. But if I like a guy and he says something to me that I'm not feeling, that doesn't mean I'm not feeling him. It's just I'm not feeling that. Right,
and you're gonna give him the benefit of the doubt because you like him. You're gonna say, "Hey, man, enough of this shit about my ass." Right. Okay.
Exactly.
Let's talk about something else. All right, okay, my bad, cool. We won't talk about it no more. But if it's somebody that you don't like, some creepy dude at work, and he say something, then you gonna be like, yo, you gonna tell, you can say, yo, don't do that shit again.
Right. That's true.
All right. Okay, so you feel comfortable with sex now, as far as you got over your traumatization.
Oh, I'm 40.
I'm teasing you.
Yeah.
You said I'm 40.
I'm grown. I'm grown.
A lot of people change, it feels like their life changes after 30. Did you experience that?
It was 30. people kept telling me, wait till you turn 30. That's what it was. But it was also, I also started drinking around that time too. And drinking just made me a different person.
Really?
In a good way. You know,
okay.
it just
uninhibited.
Confidence.
Yeah.
You know, your confidence is there. You have you approach sex with more confidence because you're relaxed. And I always said if I could approach an audition the way I approach a pussy, then I'd be a movie star right now.
Damn.
If you have too much alcohol, it's just
oh, we know that.
It gets sloppy.
We know that.
Ridiculous, and it's just like everybody's numb. Nothing's happening here.
Yeah, you never want to go too hard like that.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I like if alcohol didn't have any negative effects on you, then I would drink every day because I'm the best version of me when I'm drinking.
Okay.
Because I'm kind of quiet, so when I drink, I'm more talkative.
What's your drink of choice?
I really can drink anything, but for the most part, vodka.
Vodka. Okay.
Any particular vodka?
I do Ciroc.
Yeah.
Ciroc, any mix?
So I like Kettle. I like Ciroc. Those are my two favorites. Right now I do French vanilla Ciroc and club soda. That's my drink right now. My favorite drink is plain Ciroc and Red Bull, but that's not good for you. So I try to ease up on that.
That's illegal in some countries.
I mean,
vodka and Red Bull is illegal in some
so
countries.
is Fireball. Fireball.
Oh Jesus!
It got antifreeze in it. So
does it really?
Yeah.
It tastes like it does.
Shit. Oh my God, that is Hollywood Boulevard's drink of choice.
Yeah, I mean, shit, cocaine is legal too.
What?
Cocaine, it's illegal and people do it.
Oh, I thought you said it was legal.
No, I said it's illegal.
Did I miss something?
like, wait,
Let me hit Google really quick.
What, you about to get some shit?
No.
I ain't know.
No. So what do you think about I saw you post something about the Kanye West Twitter rant. What are your thoughts on that? He's openly support Kanye. So he's not the same Kanye.
No.
Okay, so I started to make a video.
Where's the old Kanye?
Right.
Man, look, I started to make a video about this earlier because people were saying that it's a strategy move. He's a genius. And I do believe that Kanye is a genius. Now, if this is a strategic move to sell a lot of records and all you care about is your sales, then it might work because you're trying to appeal to Trump supporters. And clearly the majority of the country is, or at one point was, Trump supporters. That's the reason why he's the president.
Right.
So if that's your thing, okay, I'm going to try to appeal to Trump supporters, and then I still got my diehard black fans, then maybe I could sell a lot of albums, then it might be a successful plan by him. But I mean, at what cost?
No. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, I'm not fucking with you.
Right.
At first, it was that chick that was, he commented saying, he posted something, said he agreed with this. It's some black girl, I forgot her name, but she's been all over, the news and stuff, and she's talking about how black people got to stop feeling sorry for themselves, and she says all of this stuff, and she's a Trump supporter.
Okay.
And he's like, yeah, I like the way she talked. And so I'm like, okay, let me go look at this girl. And I start seeing all these videos. I'm like, what? Why is he saying that?
Right.
And then everything he's been saying the past few days, I'm like, okay, I get it. But I mean, the funny shit is, like, he said George Bush don't care about black people.
But you think Trump does.
But you think Trump? Come on.
No, you don't care about black people.
He becoming a Kardashian.
Man, look.
Let's just hope he don't become a Caitlyn or something.
Well, Kim, he said on one of his tweets that Kim made him come out and say that he does not agree with everything the president says. And that he said, I only believe in myself 100%. I don't believe in what somebody else
says. But the
says.
fact that Kim got to make him say that.
Yeah.
Kim didn't make him say nothing. She just, she knows better. She's better with the whole social media thing than Kanye. Kanye don't really be on social media. And then when he's on this week and he's just going ham. He's like Donald Trump, just going crazy.
Right.
But I hate when people say that Barack Obama didn't do anything for black people. Let me tell you something. Barack Obama, just by being elected,
right,
he did everything for black people because he made us believe that we can be anything we want for real.
Amen to that.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't gotta, as a black child, you don't have to think I gotta be an entertainer or an athlete to make it. You can be president if you want.
Yeah.
He did that for the world.
Yeah.
When he won the election, I mean, the world went crazy.
No, the world went crazy for sure. But what I'm saying is the effect that effect alone on black people.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. So I wanted to ask you this.
Mm-hmm.
This is getting into your personal business just a little bit. Okay.
We
so
ain't there yet. We talked about.
I know we did talk about it.
And shit.
Well, no. Okay. So I wanted to ask you this. So when Kevin got in trouble with the whole cheating scandal, did you guys get side-eyed by the ladies in your life? Like, what are y'all doing on tour? Did it get tense in your household?
Good question.
Nah, I mean,
What did Miss Lim say?
nah, my girl was just she just kept asking questions about that. It wasn't so much,
okay.
grilling me.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, yo, I don't know.
I don't know. That's that
And
man.
I really didn't know. I wasn't there.
Right.
I really didn't know.
You didn't see me in the background.
Right. And yeah, that shit. It was a big thing.
It's over now.
Are you
thankfully.
an honest man, or are you maybe a recovering cheater?
I mean, every man's fucked around at least one time, at one point of his life. You know what I'm saying? I'm a little older now. I ain't got no time for that shit, man. I don't got the energy to do it, man.
It is time consuming.
Yeah, I ain't got the energy for that shit.
All right. So when you were dating actively, what were some dating do's and don'ts and deal breakers for you?
Deal breakers for me, my time. My time is very valuable to me, even if I'm not doing shit. Respect my time.
So be on time.
Even if you're not, I mean, just communicate with me. If you're not gonna be on time, just say that. Hey, yeah, you late ass. If you're not gonna be on time, just let me know that, so I'm not sitting here at the door with my jacket on. Just respect my time. That was always a deal breaker for me.
Yeah.
I don't like women that smoke.
Yeah.
I mean, weed I can deal with, but cigarettes is definitely like a no-go. That shit is disgusting.
Mm-hmm.
Other deal breakers, I can't really think of anything offhand. You have to say something. I'm like, yeah, I don't like that.
Yeah, I don't like that. Right. All right, that's cool. So this week on you guys' radio show on Sirius XM, you were weighing in on how a man can be in a long-term relationship for years with a woman and not marry her and turn around and marry somebody else that they've only dated for.
What the topic was, it was a chick posted, why is it that men seldomly marry the woman that they really love, but instead marry the woman that they're with when they're ready to get married?
Gotcha.
And I didn't get a chance to go into that as much as I wanted to on the show because the guys, I have a advice segment on the show, and the guys, they be trying to make jokes to everything, and I'll be serious. I really into that, talking to people. I always make sense, I like to believe. So what I said is I don't necessarily agree with that. I think that people get caught up holding on to a feeling. So if this person is the person that you really truly love, why are you not with them? You're not with them because you didn't get along with them. So people often mistake the person that you really love or your soulmate as this person that you had an extreme amount of passion with. And when you have that a passion with somebody, you often don't get along with them because passion and peace just don't go together. Usually when people have that level of passion, it's perfect for those first 6 months. And then the next 2-3 years, you holding on to that first 6 months, hoping that it can get back to where it was, but it's not going to get back there.
It's like a drug.
Yeah, you're not going to get back there. And it's always like this, like both of you feeling each other, you love each other, everything is perfect, this, that, you can't get enough of this person. And then one day, somebody take too long to respond to a text message or take too long to call back. And then
are you hitting like and you haven't responded to the text message?
It's something like that. And then the scales go like this.
Yeah.
And then one person is like, well, why are you doing this? You don't normally do that. And then the other person like, damn, why are you tripping?
Yeah.
We good.
Yeah.
And then that's what the relationship becomes. And then the next thing you know, the scale is like this. You know, I've been in those type of situations, man. But I think that, you know, what I was saying on the show is you have soulmates and you have life partners. Soulmate, it's ridiculous to believe that somebody that you grew up with is your soulmate when there's 8 billion people in the world.
There's a lot of different soulmates.
Right. So you can have multiple soulmates, and every soulmate doesn't
believe
have
that?
Yes, absolutely.
And every soulmate doesn't have to be a lover. Sometimes a soulmate is just somebody that's brought into your life for a season.
For that, your coworker could be a
But then
soulmate.
that's not a soulmate.
Absolutely,
no,
it
it
is.
is.
It is. A soulmate does not have to be an intimate experience.
Yeah.
No, I don't think that it has to be an intimate experience, but I do believe that I don't believe that there's a number of soulmates.
There are, because
There are.
you're changing as a person. You're not the same person that you were when you were 21.
Exactly.
No, I agree. I absolutely agree.
So whoever could have been your soulmate at that time may not be your soulmate right now because you're a different person.
You're
what you're
always
saying.
evolving.
Okay, I get
You're
what you're
evolving,
saying.
you know?
Okay, I thought you were saying like at this moment in my life right now, I have like 7 soulmates.
What-
You could.
You could.
No,
Yeah, you can.
You can.
how Sway?
Because there's different elements to yourself.
Right.
Like you're not just one, like God didn't make you just one thing.
No,
Like you're not
I
just this.
agree.
There's different elements to you.
But to say soulmate implies that this is someone
You're connecting with someone on a higher level.
Right.
Now, what you have that implication with soulmate because of movies and music and shit like that. It creates this thing in your head where you know, when I saw Love and Basketball for the first time, I said, oh, I got to have me a girlfriend. I want to be in love. You know what I'm saying?
Was that?
And
Were you in love with Sanaa after that?
I liked her. I don't say I was in love with
Just
her.
teasing.
I was in love with the movie though. But I mean, you get to a certain point in your life where you want somebody that you could just rock with. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Somebody that you're not going to be fighting with all the time. Somebody that shares the same interests as you. You have some chemistry, and you can build a life with them.
Absolutely.
You know, that becomes more important than somebody that, you know, that you have great sex with and then you argue with all the time.
I agree. So I don't think that the person that you have great sex with, that you argue with all the time, is your soulmate. I believe that someone, just like you said, someone that you connect with on a higher level, on a higher plane, in a more deep way, is your soulmate. But I don't think that I guess I think of it as if you can't allow yourself to be open to someone else when you're if you're allowing yourself to be open to too many people.
No. When we saying you can have multiple soulmates, that doesn't mean that you have them at the same time.
Okay, so that's okay. So then we agree.
No,
Okay.
you don't have them at the same time. You go one at a time. Like right now, I feel like this is my soulmate, and then
Right.
that shit ends, and they were there for a reason and
Or
a season.
Yeah. Okay.
So, but when you have that type of relationship with somebody where you clicking so hard and your emotions are heightened, and then we all say, I let that one get away, but that person that you saying you let get away or was your true love, if you try to be with them right now, y'all might be completely different. So that's why I don't agree with them with that question about why is it that men don't never marry the person they truly love, but the person that they're with when they're ready to get married. They marry the person that they're with when they're ready to get married because that person made them ready to be married.
There it is. There it is.
Yeah. So.
Are you
Look
ready
at you
to be
spitting
married?
knowledge over here.
Are you ready to be married, Naeem Lynn?
I mean, shit, we might as well be married already. So you know.
You did?
I said we might as well be married already.
Okay.
So I mean, you know, we waiting.
Y'all live together?
Yeah, we live together and we got a child.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Y'all might as well go ahead just.
Yeah, I mean, we doing things at our own pace, but
Right.
I mean, neither one of us wanted to get married originally. So
Oh, wow.
What?
You didn't want to be married?
nah,
Never?
I did when I was younger. Before I fell in love with somebody, I wanted to get married, and then I was like, yeah, fuck this.
This isn't fun. I hate it.
Yeah.
All right. So what's next for Naeem? Like, what can we look forward to with you?
Well, I'm working on something right now. I don't really want to talk about it, but I sold a show, and
Nice.
we're in the early stages of it. You know, when you sell a show to a network, you have to do an outline, and they approve the outline. Then you do a pilot. Mm-hmm. They approve it. You shoot the pilot, and then if they pick it up, then you go to series.
Right.
So I'm still in those early stages, but I feel very confident about it. So, you know, hopefully that'll work out. It will work out.
Network TV or cable TV?
Cable.
Uh-huh.
Cable. It's HBO.
Comedy?
It'll work. I said it'll work.
It's a dramedy. It's a dramedy. But we still
Wait, what's a dramedy? Drama and comedy
Right.
together. How does that work? Give me an example of a dramedy.
like Survivor's Remorse was a dramedy.
Oh, okay.
That became more drama after Mike Epps left. Early it was kind of, you know, funny, but it stopped being funny. It became more serious. But yeah, it's the show that I'm trying to present to the world is something that I want people to be able to relate to and be able to go through all types of emotions. I want them to laugh, I want them to cry. I feel very strongly about it. You know, it's nothing like the show. And, you know, I'm just taking it. It's been a very long process because I've been on other people's time.
Yeah.
And that's been a frustrating thing about it. But it's coming along slowly but surely. You know, I always believe you got to trust timing. But it was things that were happening that wouldn't allow me to do that. But now that, you know, things are in motion, and now I'm like, yo, y'all gonna be waiting. I'm gonna be waiting on y'all, and y'all not gonna be waiting on me. Now I can trust timing. Now I know it's out of my hands. You know, I give them what they want, and then I gotta wait. So I'm okay with it. The bad thing about it is I wanted my shit to be already rolling right now. I wish that it was out already because I have all this free promotion on this huge tour. So at the pace that we're at now, if my show gets picked up, then it'll be coming out like once the tour is over.
Okay. So it'll be a little
Will be picked up. It's going to be picked up. It's going to be awesome. I'm going to be like, I remember when he was in the planning stages.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Naeem.
My pleasure, man.
Wait, where are you going to be next on the tour?
Tomorrow we're in Peoria, Illinois.
Oh, wow.
And Friday we're in Kansas City. Saturday we're in Little Rock, and Sunday we're in Louisville.
Can people still buy tickets, or did you guys already sell out and just taunting everybody right now?
I mean, you can always get tickets to anything. You might have to go on StubHub
Right.
and pay double for them. But most of our shows are sold out. But then it'll be like a few tickets left. You know,
Somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I ask one more question?
Go for it.
What's the best advice you've ever gotten?
Oh.
Damn, you probably have to break that down into different categories.
About
Okay,
what?
what's the best advice you've gotten that you find yourself telling other people?
Or that you would tell your daughter.
Uh-huh.
You know what? I don't know. I'm usually the one that's giving the advice. You know, a lot of stuff that I preach to people, it came from my own mind. But my dad gives me great advice. You know, my dad has a way of putting things into perspective, and we agree on most stuff. But I'm just so much of my own man that it's hard to give me advice. Damn, I know there got to be something I can. I'm probably gonna think of something as soon as we finish. Advice that I'll give to my daughter though. I just want my daughter to be a leader, man. I want her to make independent decisions, whether it be when she becomes an adult, whether it be like, you know, about sex or whatever. Just, you know, be a grown woman, make decisions on your own, and live with them.
Right. Don't be a group thinker.
Yeah, that's it.
love
You know,
that.
I want her to just be. I want her to be able to communicate and just talk to people and tell people how she feels. You know, that's how I am for the most part.
How old is your daughter?
She's 2.
She's 2. Okay. Because you posted, I think we have a picture of her. We posted, you posted a meme, or actually it was one of your tweets. You said when a child turns 4, those cute
cute
videos and pictures are no longer cute anymore.
Nobody cares.
So when she turns 4, you're not gonna post any more videos?
Well,
That was her ABC video, which
Right.
was adorable.
right. My daughter, I'm gearing her up to be a musician.
Okay.
I wanted to be a musician because I'm really, really into music. My passions are food, music, and then comedy.
Okay.
Comedy food is my number one passion.
Oh, you should do a cooking show.
I cook. I've thought about it.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. But I wish that I could play an instrument. And I don't know anybody that doesn't wish they could. I know everybody that played at one point and stopped, they always say, I regret it.
That's true. I played the violin and the clarinet, and I regret stopping.
Yeah, so it's
I played
something.
the recorder.
So it's something that I'm going to force on her. I wanted to play 3 instruments. I already bought her a bass guitar, a keyboard, and I wanted to play the drums.
That's
and then
dope.
when she gets to a certain age, if she wants to swap one of them out for something else, then I'll allow her to. But she has to play 3. She has to play 3. And she might be mad at me at some point, but when she gets older, she'll appreciate
thank you.
it. Yeah.
She'll thank you. All right. Well, it was fun hanging out with you tonight, Mr. Naeem Lynn. We're so excited about everything you have going on. Give people your IG handles.
My Instagram is just Naeem Lynn. It's NaimLynn. My Twitter is Naeem the Star.
Okay.
Not the star, is the.
Star.
Everything spelled correctly.
Everything is spelled correctly. And those are really my 2 things. I mean, I'm on Snapchat a little bit, but I'll be on my IG stories heavy now. So
Cool. All right. So we have our financial advisor on the line. We took up a lot of time. He's going to drop some quick financial tips for us. Yo, are you on the line? Oh, he's not on the line. Okay. Marlo, why don't you give out your social media handles and tell us about your projects that you're working on.
Okay, I have a couple of different things. I have a radio show, AM Caffeine Show on Dash Radio, Accelerator Radio, USR Live, Track Life, and Raw Stream.
Okay.
It's amcaffeine.com, and you can check out my webisode that just dropped, Black Girl Bucket List. Watch me do all the things on everybody's bucket list. As being a regular black girl from Compton, I will get my hair wet. And
I love that.
My IG is at Marlo J on all social media, MarloJaye.
All right. Well, we will we only have is he on the line now? Okay. Should we go to no? Okay. Well, we'll just, oh, that's okay. I'm like, should we go to a song break or? All right. Well, if you guys want to join us on The Scoop, you definitely can. Email me at thescooponair@gmail.com. You can follow me on Instagram at Ms. Ashley Marie. And our Facebook is at The Scoop on Air. And we have our financial advisor, Mr. Yo Harrison, on the line. He's going to drop a few quick financial tips for us this week. Yo?
Good evening. How are you?
Good evening. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful.
Thanks for joining us.
Wonderful.
I'm sorry that we took so much time.
It's okay. It's just, when I was able to tune in,
Yeah.
It was right in the middle of a very interesting conversation.
Okay.
I was like, what did I just walk myself into?
what part? The masturbation?
No, I missed that part.
All right. So what financial tips do you have for us this week?
My financial tip for this week is invest early and invest often. Now that we finally got past tax time, which was interesting this year, the IRS had one job on tax day, and that was allow people to be able to file their taxes and pay their taxes on time. And somehow they managed to not be able to do that, and the whole site shut down. So that was interesting, to say the least. But I guess that's what happens when you cut the budget of the IRS. I mean, they can only do so much. But anywho, my name is Johannes Harrison, financial advisor, wealth advisor. For MoneyScript Wealth Management, you can catch me at The MoneyScript on Instagram and Twitter. Where else can you find me? Facebook, Your MoneyScript. Still haven't found that person to give up The MoneyScript. But nonetheless, I want to talk about investing your money. I spent a lot of time today. I gave a presentation at Snapchat, headquarters, one of their offices in Santa Monica. And I was so excited because there were so many young people in the room. I mean, there were people in the room that were born in the late 80s and early 90s. working at Snapchat with 6-figure salaries and 401ks and stock option plans. And it was very exciting to see. Also, there was a lot of people of color in the room. That was also very exciting. And women at Snapchat. So hats off to Snapchat for their employee base. You hear about them in the news, but sometimes you don't see the people working behind the scenes.
Right.
But I was very excited just to see that at such a young age, so many of them had stock portfolios. So really quick, what is a stock? A stock is when you are buying shares of a company like Snapchat, like Facebook, like General Mills or Kimberly-Clark. Is when you are investing your money with them, you want to see them grow and continue to provide goods and services to consumers all over the world. And you get to participate in that by buying a share of their company. Now, of course, when you invest in stocks, risks are involved. Companies can go out of business. When that happens, you could lose all your money. Some people may remember a company not too long ago that went out of business called Toys R Us. I don't want to grow up. I'm a Toys R Us kid. Well, Toys R Us never wanted to give in to online shopping. And as you can see, they took the tail end of that.
Right.
You can also think of companies like Blockbuster and Enron and Borders Books, all companies that no longer exist today. And if you had money invested in those companies, you could have lost it all. However, for the greater amount of companies that are out there, have been around for a long time, been making money for a long time, and there's lots of money to be made. So I want to just give you a quick story about a few companies over the last 10 years. Now, these numbers are a little old, or as of October of 2017, but I still think it's quite compelling. If I think back 10 years ago in 2007, or 10 and a half years ago now in 2007, it was right before the stock market crashed. I don't know if everybody remembers, we had a recession in 2008, 2009, didn't really come out of it until early 2010. And a lot of people lost a lot of money in the stock market. That's when Washington Mutual went out of business, Wachovia, not First Union. What was the other one? Lehman Brothers, to name a few. However, if you had taken $1,000 back in 2007 and bought a few companies that you've heard of, let's talk about how much money you would have today. So just a few of them really quick. Walt Disney. Disneyland, Marvel, ESPN, ABC, and now the whole Fox network probably really soon. If you put $1,000 in 2007 in Disney, by the end of 2017, you'd have about $3,000. Not bad. Tripled your money. If you put that same $1,000 in Google, now known as Alphabet, you'd have just shy of $3,000 as well. If you'd taken that $1,000 and stuck it in Starbucks, instead of spending it at Starbucks, you will buy $1,000 worth of Starbucks shares. You would have almost $5,000 today, about $4,700, which would buy you a lot more lattes.
That's about to go down.
Say that again, my man.
That Starbucks about to go down though.
You think? Why do you think that?
You ain't been watching the news.
The way they've been treating black people.
The cancer stamp.
No.
Are you talking about,
brother?
No. Are you talking about the black people?
Yeah.
Okay, we got to remember that that was and this is my opinion, that was the decision of an employee at Starbucks, not the policy of Starbucks.
We didn't know. We're not saying whose fault it was. We saying that people ain't fucking with them right now because of that.
And
it's
a boycott. They shut it down for a day to give a sensitivity.
They are shutting it down today to do that. Yes, that is true. However, we got to think about it. A lot of times, I'll give you a great example of that, not to get too far off topic here, but and I understand what you're saying. I in full disclosure, I own Starbucks. My clients own Starbucks.
And we only have one more minute, so we got to wrap it up.
Wrap it up. So here's what I'll tell you. Keep in mind, Starbucks is a worldwide company. Okay, the things that happen in the United States don't always paint the picture of what's happening in the rest of the world. Under Armour is a prime example of that. Under Armour's getting bashed in the U.S., but they are making a killing overseas. So, nonetheless, the last two I want to tell you about, $1,000 in Amazon would be worth $12,000 today, and $1,000 in Netflix. You'd have enough to pay your Netflix subscription for the rest of your life for you, your mama, and you don't have to share it with your sister no more. $51,000 you'd have if you put $1,000 in Netflix 10 years ago. So it goes to show you that owning companies is a great way to grow your money. But like I said, there's always risk. You want to talk to me more about it? Hit me up, The Money Script on Instagram, and look forward to seeing you guys next week.
All right, cool. Thanks so much, yo. We'll see you next
You're
week.
welcome.
All right. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to The Scoop. If you missed any of the show, you can catch the replay on YouTube. Thank you to my wonderful guest, Mr. Naeem Lynn. Thanks for joining us. And Miss Marlo J. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
No problem. We'll be back next week. Same time, same place. Ciao. Thanks.
Scooch. Gold Link. Shot Glizzy. DC. EA.
She see money all around me.